this is day 2 of Brain Week, and let us have a few glimpses into the working of the brain. So, here is a different perspective than what some of you would have expected. The Vedas and the Upanishads have told us about the structure of the human being in the format of BMI, or body, mind, and intellect. We are made up of the body, which has the perceiving part, wherein we make sense of the environment through our perceptions and sensations, and the doer, the movement producer, and we take actions and interact with the environment through the actions. Then we have the mind with its emotions, and we have the intellect with its thoughts. So let us see how the brain is connected to the BMI model. Now, the body. The brain receives information from the entire body about all kinds of sensations that are created due to interactions with the environment. Through the sensations, we make sense of the environment. Now, the sensations are either simple ones such as touch, pain, temperature, which we sense the basic things about the environment. Then there are complex sensations such as vibration, understanding the movements that are occurring in our body, then joint positions, then balance, that means our sensation of gravity. Then there are special sensations like smell, taste, hearing, and most importantly, vision. The sensations and process of balance is an extremely complex process and is taken care of by many parts of the brain, and there is a constant, extensive and intensive feedback feed forward mechanism going on just to keep us vertical in the context of the gravity of the earth. Movement in humans range from complex to simple, very simple to extremely complex. Just lifting my hand, to gymnasts performing gymnastics, or yogis performing complex yogasanas, or dancers performing very complex dance movements. So the brain has enabled us to perform the actions to such an extent. Some problems or diseases of the brain can arise in the sensory part of the brain, giving rise to defective sensations, such as there are some pain syndromes like central pain syndrome, which occurs after a brain stroke, where on the side of the stroke the patient will have a lot of pains. Then movement problems are very well known. You can have either excessive movement such as epilepsy or chorea, or you can have decreased movement such as Parkinson's disease, or you can have brain stroke, which leads to paralysis of that particular part of the body. So these are examples of sensory and motor problems due to diseases of the brain. Now let us see about the mind and the intellect. About the mind, considering that the mind is the seat of the emotions, and intellect, wherein the brain is the seat of the thoughts. So brain and mind, as I said in my previous video, are like the hardware and the software. Mind is something that the brain does. The brain is the hardware and mind is the software. And as I said, they are integrated and you cannot separate one from the other. The limbic system is the specific part of the brain where the emotions and feelings have their softwares uploaded. Emotions are found in other animals as well, and some diseases of the brain, such as limbic encephalitis, affect the emotional brain specifically, changing the behavior of the person and also modifying the emotional states of that person. Why did nature create emotions in this whole process of evolution is a matter of a lot of thought. Broadly speaking, emotions are meant to be sensors for the environmental situations to know which situation is good or bad for us. So broadly speaking, or usually or normally, we can say the good emotions arise when something is going right for us, and the bad emotions arise to warn us about some things that are happening. So I'm talking about emotions and not yet talking about feelings. And in core neuroscience now, these two things are being seen as two different entities, as in emotions are present in other animals also. We see happy dogs, we see contented dogs, angry cats, happy cats, contented cat. So other animals do have emotions as well. Now the intellect is distributed in many parts of the brain. The main part of the intellect is in our frontal lobes, which is the lobe responsible for our persona, and that is the, you can say, the headquarters of the intellect. But just like any smart device, the data of the intellectual process is distributed throughout the brain depending upon the process by which it originated. So it is distributed along the entire cerebral cortex. Now dementia is the disease which occurs when this intellectual process is not working well, when the cells storing the data of the intelligence start shrinking and dropping out, apoptosis. That is when dementia as a disease starts. When we mix emotions with some thought and the product lasts for a longer time, that is known as feelings. So emotions plus cognition will give rise to feelings. It's a long lasting mental state called feelings. So we may get angry for some time as an emotion, but we may carry anger as a feeling in our minds for a longer time. We may feel stimulated to do something immediately, but we have the feeling of motivation for doing something in our life, for adding purpose to our life. So that is a feeling wherein a lot of thought is mixed with the simple emotion of stimulation and activation. So feelings are unique to human beings and are much more complex than simpler emotions. We still have to uncover a lot of things about feelings. You have to take care of the hardware and you also have to take care of the software. So you have to take care of the brain and you have to take care of the mind. So our apps which we have in our brain of our skills, our experiences, so it is, we do have choice to a large extent about what kinds of apps we want to save in our brains, and our skills and our learnings and our habits are our apps that we develop and upload in our brain every day in small bits and pieces. In the coming blogs and videos, we will be discussing about the different disorders of the brain and mind. And do subscribe and like our video, and do turn on the notifications to stay updated about our new videos. I am Dr. Purnima Gauri, neurologist, mainly based in Pune, managing director of our social profit organization Niche Advocacy Foundation, and I have my clinic at Pimpri Nilak, and I'm attached to many corporate hospitals in Pune city. So do stay tuned, and my links for the blogs are also given in the description below. Thank you so much.